we are discussing features of risk management. Now, we have a number of features that we are going to see this morning. And one of the features, the first one that we have to look at is identifying the assets to be protected. One of the features of risk management is to that one of identifying the assets to be protected. You are sitting here and you are risk managers and you are trying to put up measures in place that will help you to minimize the impact of some risks that may happen to your business. Now, first of all, you have to identify, by the way, what are the assets that we need to protect here? Is it fixed assets? Or maybe is it cash? Or maybe human resource or whatsoever? So you identify first the assets that you need to identify. So it's either can be also information. Information is also a risk, is also an asset, and it has to be protected. So you sit down and figure out, should we protect information? Should we protect probably cash? Should we protect fixed assets, the stocks and all? That is the first feature of this risk management. Now, once you have identified the assets to be protected, the next thing, which is the other feature here, is now identifying the threats to those assets. Identifying the threats to those assets. Now that you have identified the assets to be protected, so say the fixed assets or probably the stocks that are there in the warehouses, we have identified them. Okay, what are the likely threats that those assets are going to face that we really need to protect? Now, in other words, you ask yourself to say, here are the assets we need to protect. You know, those are the questions you are asking yourself. Now, you may say, probably fire. You may say, probably safety. Or maybe some other risks that can happen with these particular assets. So that's the second feature, identifying the threats to those assets. Now, the third feature is the application of controls. Application of controls. When we're saying application of controls, that is application of measures or putting in place measures or suggesting measures that you feel that these measures are going to work in accordance with the threats that we are seeing here. So, for example, we want to minimize the risk of fire against our assets that we have identified. So we said the assets that we identified probably with the stocks that are in warehouses. That was the first thing. Then we said, what are the possible risks that can happen to these assets, or what are the possible threats? You have identified that, okay, I think it is fire. Now the next thing is to identify the controls or the measures that you have to put in place to always minimize the risks. In this case, the risk of fire. Are you putting fire extinguishers in place? Or else, are you drilling your members of staff to respond to fire should it occur? Those are some of the controls. You are putting them in place. Now, the fourth feature here is testing the adequacy and effectiveness of the controls. Testing the adequacy and the effectiveness of the controls. That's another feature. The adequacy and effectiveness of the controls. So, I said these controls are the measures that we put in place. That will help us to minimize the impact of the risk that we have identified. Now, if on fourth feature we are saying testing now the adequacy and effectiveness of the controls. On this point, is there anybody who can try to expand it for us so that at least we should be on the same page? You have put in controls in place, and we're saying these controls are like measures that will help us to minimize the impact of whatever risk we have identified. Then the other point, we are being told that we need now to test the adequacy and the effectiveness of such controls. Is there anybody who can help us to maybe elaborate something or explain something according to your understanding? What does this mean? Anybody?
Maybe the controls are the main job.
What are they supposed to be doing?
Yeah?
What they are supposed to be doing, right?
Maybe they are doing the purpose Yes. So if they are not contributing, that means they are necessary. So they really need to be. They need to do the main purpose.
The intended purpose, what they are supposed to be doing, right?
Yes.
All right. That is it. Is there anybody who wants to add also on what she has said? According to her, it's like trying to assess them and see if at all they are going to perform what they are supposed to perform. And that's it. So you are in agreement with her, right? All right. Okay. There are some exercises that some organizations will always undertake to ensure the effectiveness of some of those controls or some of those measures. For example, I'll give you this example that we call a drill. When you're saying a drill exercise, this is an exercise that at times some members of staff can be given a situation, for example, a risk situation, and asked you to perform their actions that they can perform in case of a real risk. So, looking at the way the members of staff or the people responsible have responded to that particular situation called a drill, it can tell management to say, I think this system that we have put in place is effective or is not effective. Let's look at an example of a fire situation in an organization like this one. Normally, there are always measures put in place, and one of the measures that are put in place in terms of when it comes to responding to a fire situation is firefighting training. Some organizations, they have members of staff that are specifically trained to fight the fire. Now, once these people have been trained, that immune firefighters are to Maloba. In case of anything, you are the ones to intervene or maybe to respond to the situation. To test the effectiveness of that team, what these people will always do, what management will always do, or the managers, what they do is, at times they ring a bell or an alarm. Because in an organization, in such kind of organizations, they put some devices. Mwina ngati maalam, ona kuti moto kati wayambika. Tima nina batanili, ndipo tikati na batanili meni kuma lila alam. Ndipo alam icheka lila, ampama tawana, aliyese malinga mena kunzitikuya, bila warani, kwazi misamoja. So normally these firefighters are trained to say, once we press this button, you will come to know that there is a risk. Now you have to respond accordingly, according to your training. Then now, this is a control, or this is a measure that has been put in place. But now, to test the effectiveness or the adequacy of this measure or of this intervention, what management will always do at some point is, it's okay? Sure. All right. All right. So I was trying to relate an example of a firefighting situation in an organization. So we say you are the firefighters. You've been trained to how to fight a fire should it occur. Now, to test the adequacy of this kind of a control that is in place there, at times managers can bring in this what we call a drill. sikuli nalage amatongotuka mama ndi kupita pachapone pali button chimene chichi and they press like this, then the alarm rings just to see how prepared you people are. So chimachitika chimakhalira kuti nobody is warned beforehand. Palibe umodzi wa inu amene amakhala kudziwa kunena kuti sikulakuti kuzakhala drill kapena sikulakuti kuzakhala this kind of an exercise. Amadziwa kuti ndakula top management. So it's just to test you. So akapanga zimene zijazo, how you respond to that situation tells them to say, I think there is adequacy or there is inadequacy in this kind of control. So they will see where you are weak or the weaknesses of your team or whatever system is there. So wherever they need to polish up, it is now an opportunity for them to polish up. So this is what happens. Now, apart from this example that I've given you, there can also be a number of examples. There are some other systems that are probably automated systems. There are also some trials that they can be tried to see if at all they can perform the tasks that they are intended to perform. So that is the testing the adequacy and the effectiveness of the controls or of the systems. So that is another feature. Now that you have, you are now satisfied with the system that is there, with the controls that are there. What next? The next thing here is, now you put in place those measures, now you put them into effect. The other feature here is to monitor the program now, or to monitor the systems that are now in place. So monitoring is done periodically. So you may always set probably the time limits to say, okay, I will be reviewing this one, I will be monitoring this one every 2 weeks, or maybe every 2 months, every 3 months, or every 6 months, to see if at all these systems or these controls are really working. So this time around, you are not testing them. The testing part, you did the testing part, and after you got satisfied, you implemented them. But now, as you're implementing them, you still have to be monitoring them periodically to see if at all they are performing as recommended. So that is this other feature. Now, we went further to look at decisions and risks. And on decisions and risks, we have two types of decisions that are taken when you are experiencing a risk. Now, we have decisions with certainty and we have decisions with uncertainty. I'm wondering if we never discussed this one. We discussed this one. Eh? Yeah. So we discussed it, making a decision under certainty, that is under a situation where you really know what is happening and you are conversant with the interventions that you will put in place. And we looked at situations of uncertainty, making a decisions under uncertainty, isn't it? We also discussed this one, and we said this is a situation whereby you as managers, you are faced with a situation that you do not fully understand, but you still have no choice but to put up an intervention. So when you are taking such kind of decisions, we say those are decisions under uncertainty. Now, this has reminded me something very important. When you are trying to make these decisions under a situation of uncertainty, there are a number of approaches that can be taken in order for you to come up with that decision. Now, those approaches, we have three kind of approaches. And now this reminds me, on this one, we had tasks to do. We said the tasks that we had were we needed to explain these three approaches: risk analysis, then we have decision trees, and reference theory. Remember this one, eh? All right. There was somebody who was requested to help us understand risk analysis. Who was that one? Sorry?
I'm not around.
It's not around. Okay. You yourself, what was your part? Decision tree. So are you ready for that one?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Eunice. And we had reference theory. And there was somebody who was also tasked to do this. Who was that? You people, you're saying it's not around. All right. All right. Okay. So, two are here. One is not here. You, which part did you take? And you? It's okay. All right. Okay. So, what we're going to do here is, probably you prepare a little bit, right? A little bit of it. Okay. So, what you're going to do with the little preparation that you did on preference theory, I think you can work with her. At least you just share a few things that you prepared, or if at all she has some idea, you can at least put up together. And once you do that, as brief as possible, if at all you prepared something, and with her also, you try to discuss together. Of course, you can even consult your sources, if at all you have some sources that you can always consult, just to understand this theory, preference theory. Then, after some time, you have to present it to everybody. And you, decision tree, at least you need to share with her. You need to share with her what you prepared a little bit, so that at least you'll be on the same page. So, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? Here, I'll give you people 15 minutes to do this. Now, once this is done, you be the secretary. Whatever you discuss, because already he has something, and of course you contribute. Once you contribute, you write down just something short, and you be the one to present that. And at the same time, you that side, you discuss, you be the secretary. You be the secretary, and okay, between two of you, you agree who is going to present. That one should not dictate. No. You discuss amongst yourselves. So you discuss amongst yourselves, and one of you is going to present. We together on that one, eh? All right. So quickly, let's get to business. Mike, you sit here so that you get close to him. Whether two of you discuss this. Of course, you already have these things, but for the sake of these two, that's why I'm giving this time. Had it been that you were only presenting yourself for class, just come forward and present. Since that already is not aware of what you were, you prepare, discuss, and two of you discuss. Now, the third one, the risk analysis, this one is handle it myself, because the other person is not here. So this one I'm going to do it myself. So let me give you this time. I'll be providing this one.
Ndio wanaangalia ndani sana jinsi.
Okay, this theory, you have like any oranges, they have more alternatives. So you choose the one which is very simple, or which you can just use it as so fast as you can do it. Yes, you're right. Thank you. So now the question.
That's why it's prepared, yeah. I want to take one minute to
Yes.
Family is a tree. You need to formulate my plans in the next. Which one should I take? Which step should I take? School, this logistics. Obviamente, uma logistics. Independente de onde vive, como é a política? Mas eu vejo uma cara nessas e pessoas que vão Oke, yo sebenarnya enggak kalau ngobrol gimana? Gue ini enggak ada intinya nggak ada kunci. Jadi apa? Ada tuh. Tadi kalau kita sudah itu sudah ini sudah kunci. Iya. Semua kira kira Zaman bawah nggak bisa semua. Masa nama senang Sonia. Ini dengan sama. Ini kan saya lagi dengan dia. Cuma mana tadi? Mana yang pulang? Ini gimana sih? Sila kalau dia dia udah sering Blue Whale yang mau capai dia sudah di sini kalau sudah siap. Bisa Hai, nama saya Jadi saya langsung akhirnya kalau di sini kerja tidak pernah investasi kita. Saya sudah lama cari. Mama kamu cari. Kita lagi dengar. Kapan saya lebih? Kapan saya lebih? Não sou ali, não sou do lado. There's no difference. Example,
You done? What do we say? What are we saying now? All right. So this first approach, decision tree, I think the ladies are ready to give us what is it all about, and who is our presenter from that side? Eunice, presenting. All right. Okay. Please come on. No, it's okay. Never mind. Come on. Yeah, please come forward. Come on, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Sorry, waiting for example. Yeah, it's okay. So, introduce yourself and what you are going to give us, and please feel free to give us. And if anything, if there are questions, we're going to ask you questions. If anyone of these people here has a question, we're going to ask you. If not, then we're done.
Alright.
Yeah, guys, let's listen.
Okay, guys, my name is Eunice Manda. So I'm going to present decision tree analysis. Okay. Decision tree analysis. It involves visual outlining of potential outcomes, cost and consequences of a complex decision. So when you're making a decision, it looks like that's the tree sample, the way the tree looks like. Let's say it starts from the ground, this is your decision. So it goes this way in this direction and the tree goes. So you have different parts in a decision tree, like decision nodes, which are your choices, the choices you make. The chance nodes, those are the probabilities of outcomes, and end nodes. So, yeah, as you know, the end nodes are the leaves on the tree, you know that? Yeah, that's how you can classify it. So it starts with the main idea. Let's give an example of a decision you can make. Let's say we should start a project. Eh? So if you're making a decision to start a project, you can go with two different answers, two things involved. I should go with the project or not. Yeah? So that means no or yes. So if yes, you're starting the project, what can be? If not, that means you're not going to go with the project. If yes, that means you're going with the project. So what can be the probabilities of starting a project? Somebody think about it? No? Anybody? Any suggestions? No? Okay. So you ask yourself, is the project important for the company? Hmm? So if yes, you go with the project. If no, you ask again, is the project important for my let's say school you're studying for your qualification? If no, that means you don't go with the project. If yes, that means you go with the project. So this can help to identify possible outcomes and things. Let's say on the this matrix. You know it, huh? You don't know it. Okay. The risk matrix is about if you have identified the problem, the risk, you know the probabilities of the risk and the impact to the organization. The probability of the risk to happen and the impact. That means you identify the risk. So decision tree analysis implementation steps. Step number one is you list all the decisions and prepare a decision tree for project management. Step number two is assign the probability of occurrence for all risks. Number three, assign the impact of the risk as monetary value. Do you understand that part? Monetary value? Guys. Yeah? You don't understand monetary value? Who can define monetary value? Modi, give us the meaning of monetary value.
All right, so in the interest of time, just list down those that are available. Those that are not available, so because at the end of the day, we are going to consolidate, right? Yeah, so proceed in the interest of time.
Okay. Now, the last step is you calculate the expected monetary value for each decision that. The importance of decision tree, it helps you to evaluate your options, help to choose several courses of actions, help the decision maker to think through important elements, that's to consider chance events, decision points, outcomes, timing, and controls. It takes account of the costs and rewards of the decision options as well as probabilities and impacts of associated risks. Another important is the general algorithm for a decision tree can be pick the best attribute feature. So the best attribute feature is the one that splits a lot. The many speak one that can be the best option to take. The advantages of decision tree: easy to interpret, little to no data preparation required, and it is flexible. The disadvantages can be prone to overfitting. So if something is overfitted, let's say a tree but only about 1 feet, you clean it, you cut some parts. So that means you can prune before or after. High variance estimators. So the solution can be budgeting or averaging or estimate can be the method of reducing bias or decision trees. Another disadvantage is it can be more costly due to go to search the information and the like. Any question? And I think.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You are very safe. Next.
Morning, everybody. My name is Kevin Wilson. I'll be talking about difference theory. Preference theory refers to the attitude of people,
Listen, guys.
to the attitudes of people who hold towards risks, which is a key factor in studies and investors in decision-making behavior. Standard financial theory assumes that investors are rational and believes that when making investment decisions, they tend to have environment preference risks others. However, as research goes, people gradually find that investors' decision-making behavior in real life does not always comply with the assumption of rationality and their behaviors in real life. And preference theory can also take it as a tendency to engage in behavior or activities that involve higher variance in returns regardless of whether these represent gains or losses, and is often studied in the context of monetary payoffs involving lotteries and all other stuff. The importance of preference theory is they collect dividend payments and they reconcile demand theory by defining utility factors by observing behavior. Therefore, reviewed preference theory is a way to inform the preference of individuals given the observed stresses. And the basic principle of preference value is the decision maker wishes to make the best decision consistent with his attitude toward risk, and he must choose that course of action which is the highest preference. The other principle is preferential dividend option for shareholders. Preference shareholders do not have the right to vote, and shareholders have the right to claim assets in case of wind up of the company. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the benefits. And lastly, we had what we call, what was the first one? Yeah, I know, since it starts, and this one is in theory. And risk analysis, you do risk analysis? Yes. All right. All right. See, look. The main reason, actually, thank you so much, all of you, for at least giving your efforts to do this. Probably it may not look much significant, but it is significant, and I really appreciate that because it has taken your dedication, your time, and your courage actually to discuss and finally stand up here and that is present to your colleagues. Actually, such kind of sessions are very important. The reason why people always say we should always have presentations is nothing but just to build and strengthen your confidence. Mind you, we all know, of course, that by the time we are leaving this place, some of you go elsewhere and seek employment. Some of you, maybe you have your own businesses or family businesses, etc. You know those ones, normally they are gatherings where you need to present something, an idea to your audience. Is either your fellow members of staff, probably even your own employees. So wherever you go, at least you shall have those situations where you need to present something to the people in front of you. So these presentations, they only help us to build that confidence in ourselves. So I should thank you so much, both of you guys, and of course, the rest of the contributors. Next time, those who haven't spoken here will be the ones to stand up here, because at the end of the day, we want all of us to have same levels of confidence. Or the secret behind having a better presentation is to prepare. You know, if you prepare very well, it becomes a bit easier for you. So since at least he prepared a little bit, and of course she prepared a little bit, that's why we were able to do something here. Okay, let us quickly look at what these two people have shared with us here. First of all, when we are talking about a thing like this one, this is what we call a tree. When you look at the tree here, it comes like this. It's like a triangle. So you right? So we want to look at our decisions by looking at this tree also. We are an organization and we are faced with a situation, but we are not so sure of that situation exactly 100% of it. And we want to bring in some interventions. But again, the interventions that we want to bring in, we are not also so sure. So we want to design, we're in a situation of uncertainty. We want to make a decision. So first of all, there are approaches. There is an approach that she brought in, whereby you base a decision here, then you grow it further, just as the tree is growing. This one is an approach, but this one is even a bit more difficult. The simplest one is to start from the top here. You start from the top here, then you go to the bottom. This one, in other words, we also call it elimination method. You also employ elimination method in decision tree. Now, what does this mean and how does it work? You want to confront a situation, and to confront that situation, you need a solution. Now, as a management team, you sit down and you suggest those options. Now, somebody suggests option A, someone suggests option B, C, D, E. Okay, now E. Those are the suggestions that have been suggested by members present. So you start analyzing each one of these suggestions, their strengths and their weaknesses of these decisions that you are coming up here. You find that at the end of the day, this one has more weaknesses as compared to this one. So it's like this one has failed, but this one has passed. This one at least it has some. The weaknesses are less than that of this one. And of course, this one, at least the weaknesses are less than this one. So this one has failed. This one, the same thing. Now, if you compare this one and this one, you find that this one has more weaknesses as compared to this one here. So, in other words, this one is has been eliminated. Now, we are remaining with these three suggestions as to the approaches that we need to take in order to deal with a particular situation that is there, because we are not so sure. Now, as you compare the two, you find that this one has failed. This one is more or is stronger than this one. So this one has failed. If you look at this one also, you find that this one is even weaker than this one. So this one survives. So suppose probably here we had you find that Muna E, it failed, this one failed. When we see that this is now getting pass. They are really stronger than the other ones. So the weaker ones have been eliminated. Now you are remaining with three. Now amongst these three suggestions, which one do you think can better solve this particular situation that we have at hand? Now we're looking at the weaknesses of these ones. So you are trimming, you are better trimming to the point that these ones, they are out of question and you are remaining with that one. So you say, okay, I think this is the decision that we're going to take. So if you look at it like this, we find that we have come up with that particular tree we wanted. So it's a decision that has been taken after trying several suggestions and we were eliminating one by one based on their weaknesses and their strength. Finally, we are coming up with one here. So this one can be implemented by or via elimination method. Now, somebody came in here and brought in reference theorem. Now, one thing we need to also understand is that when we are saying a risk, I'm a risk taker. Risk is not all about ngozi. Kapena mafuta kwa mwazis. At times you can be tempted to think like when they are saying a risk, it means muna ngozi kana mafuta kwa mwazis. Fine and good. Those are risks, of course. But again, even some decisions when you want to invest, we always say, I want to invest in this one. I want to take a risk. Ndifuna DSM line. Ngazinga cheki, ziteke. Ngazinga ganike, zitiganika. Just like when you're gambling or you're betting, you always put your money in there. You call them what? Stakes. You put your money and say, okay, I'm going to bet 10,000 or 20,000. It's like you're taking a risk. It's a risk because you're not so sure. It's just a game of probability. It's either you win or you lose. So, in that situation, like when you're gambling, you're not so sure to say, am I going to win or am I going to lose? Anyway, let me just say, try my luck. So, even in investment, when you're investing, the same questions also come in. Okay, we are trying to invest so much money into this kind of a product. We want to start producing this product. But the question is this product going to be performing when we take it to the market? We are not so sure. Nobody is sure. So again, a team of managers are here, the decision makers are here. They try to weigh in to say, okay, they say we have this much money, 1 million. Now, on this 1 million, we should invest it in probably soya farming. And we should invest in tobacco farming. Okay, where should we invest our money in? What risk should we take here? So you are faced with a risky situation because you are not so sure. It's like a gambling. So you try to weigh in. So you weigh in. If at all there is a possibility of voting, you do the voting process amongst you people who are there. Now, whichever part gets a higher percentage, in as far as the votes are concerned. For example, here is 60% of the voters are saying we should go for soya. Definitely, we are going to go for soya. 40% deputy Timadi, 40% Agonai. A majority of the people present have preferred 60%. But now the question is, how about the 40%? Because it means 60% akuti soya. It means 40 the chances what people are lose now business media soya, they are there. So 40% there are the chances of saying this business here soya can fail. Whereas 60% is saying this 60% is going to work. So much as the 60% have said, okay, Tifuna remain soya. We want to invest our $1 million into soya farming, finally good. But for the sake of majority and our 40%, now there is a need for what we call cost-benefit analysis. All right. So we were saying, in this situation, because individual preferences of things always vary. Individual preferences of people vary. So we are saying here, if this is our management team. You have been given these two situations. Others here, for their own reason, they will say, no, let's go for soya farming. Whereas others will still say, let's go for tobacco farming. So the majority will always have it. Those who are saying we should go for soya farming, because now they are making 60% of the whole thing. So the company will be tempted to take this risk of saying, okay, let us invest into soya farming. But now the question is, how about the 40%? Because now the 40% here is from those people who are so skeptical of the success of soya farming. They say, no, soya farming is going to fail. Definitely, we are going to lose our money. So before we proceed with taking this risk now of investing into soya farming, what should be done here? Now we look at what we call the cost-benefit analysis of engaging ourselves into soya farming. So focus again. We evaluate this one now. Takusia guy because Google 40% guy. Kumabi and 40% of what? Putting out the CV to win out almost then we have to do the cost benefit analysis of saying, okay, we're investing 1 million in soya farming. What are the strengths of this kind of farming? What are the weaknesses? And probably what are the chances that we're going to get to make profits out of this kind of a venture? So once at least it has passed, then you proceed. But if it hasn't passed this one, you still go back to the 40% and do the same with the 40%. You find that surprisingly at the end of the day, the 40% has passed, off you go. So those are the risks that top managers are always faced with when they are making decisions over things that they are not sure about. Then we have this other one, we say risk analysis. So now with the risk analysis, the managers who always follow this kind of an approach, they always analyze the nature of a risk involved in choosing a particular course of action. So in other words, it's a matter of assessing the gravity of that kind of risk, the depth of that kind of risk, and after appreciating at least the nature and the gravity of that risk is when now they can be in a position to take a decision or else to have an approach. So for example, a business wants to take a decision, similar of course to the one that we've seen here. They want to introduce a new product on the market, but of course they are not so sure how it is going to perform. The difference between this kind of analysis that is going to be done here and this one of preference theory is that at this preference theory, the variables involved or zinthu izizi zimene anthu muziyang'anira zimakhala kuti at least ipo mukuzidziwa kuti okay ulimaso yamudziwako kapenanso ulimafu chiti mudziwa akuti anapanga aja anapanga antiona zimene anapanga. At least you have an idea. Whereas with this other kind of an approach, you are introducing a product that you are totally not sure how it is going to perform on the market. So you as a manager, you have to carefully analyze each and every variable concerning that particular product, the cost of production, and some other expenses associated or involved in making sure that that kind of product has been produced and has reached the market. So by analyzing all those aspects, and at the end of the day, you are convinced that at least we are going to realize profits from this product. It's only then that you can give it a go ahead and proceed in implementing it. So you were analyzing the risk, that is risk analysis. So mind that much as these three approaches may sound different, but if you look at it, they are connected in one way or the other. So what you call comparative analysis. You have 2 or 3 more situations and you compare them, which is which. Because when we are looking at the decision tree, compare. We had a kind of comparative analysis. Which is which. I think we did which. Preference and theory, the same thing. You had a team of managers here, everybody had his or her own preference. And those that at least had a high percentage, they had it. But it's two more, though they got it. That one was further analyzed and to come up with the actual option. So probably the actual option was the same, or else it was this one. Now, with the risk analysis, the same thing. You have a product that you want to introduce into the market, but you're not so sure. You look at a number of variables surrounding that particular product. At the end of the day, you say, I think this is the way to go. Now, going further. Now, when you look at this risk management, one importance of this risk management, I think we also tackled it a little bit last time, is that it helps to reduce uncertainty. I think we are together with that one. If you have at least risk management measures in place or risk management systems in place, the chances are high that the uncertainties are always reduced. So uncertainty in any form is bad for business, and by its definition is of course difficult to quantify. Uncertainty, nobody can quantify uncertainty. So if you have at least, if you are well prepared, you have risk management mechanisms in place, the chances are higher that those uncertainties, if they fall onto your business or onto your organization, you'll be able to cushion yourself or to reduce the impact of it. So that's another important. And another one is it helps you to successfully planning whatever you want to plan. So it is crucial for successful planning. Another thing here is it helps to reduce expenses and of course losses. And more importantly, risk management helps to improve your reputation or the image of your brands, because at least everybody will always trust you, or most of the people, your customers or stakeholders will always trust you, since they know that whenever there is a risk, you are always ready to respond and at least cushion the impact. So your reputation goes around positively. And of course, risk management reduces unexpected events. Risk management creates financial management and so on and so forth. And of course, risk management saves time and effort. It improves communication, and of course, it prevents reputation issues. And of course, it benefits the culture and guides decision making. So that's how important this thing called risk management is. Now, on the same, assignment. Yeah? Assignment, you done?
Sir, you don't know it's in the same.
Sorry?
I'm not going to go.
You?
No, but I just not going to.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I'm not on the group.
You're not on the book? Oh my God. Seriously?
Yes.
How come you're not on the book? The admins. What is that? You don't know WhatsApp? Okay, do you access the portal? The student portal? Because see, yeah, because the thing is, the there are those two options. Is either we share amongst ourselves via WhatsApp, or else via the portal. So that whoever is not on WhatsApp can access it via the portal, or whoever cannot access via the portal can access via WhatsApp. Those two options. So in this case, what do we do? But now, today was the deadline. Is the deadline actually? Because as per the communication on the portal, of course, via those WhatsApp group, it was that the deadline will be on 20th. So, you should be added on the group. Whoever is responsible, please add him. And
Is there?
he's on the group. Hey, please verify. Please verify. And verify whether you're on the group so that at least you can get it. Now, today is because we are having exams next week, right? Next week. Now, you have what? For me. Okay. You have only this one.
Where? You have
No. I mean, are you having supply chain sales on as it was?
Yes.
Yes.
It's so you get.
Yeah.
All right. That was it. The Galaxy. So you're not having this one on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp, it's my time. I must have focused on WhatsApp. So I don't do anything with that.
So the assignments are here. We are here. And of course, those manual systems are yeah, so let's agree one thing. Was it just one day? Hey, you people, when are you studying exams?
6 March.
6 March. 6 okay.
The president.
All right. So listen, gentlemen, those of you who did not do the assignments, I have sent you, and have you guys got it, right? The assignments, those two. You have got it, right? So, for the sake of you people, next time, what I want to say is, please let us follow whatever is happening, right? Let's follow whatever is happening, especially for those of us on WhatsApp. And you will not WhatsApp try to find means through which you'll be able to follow things, right? Because at times institutions I can send where I'm at home, so it's difficult. So next time we should not have these mishaps. Today is 20th. Guys, try as much as possible to send me these things by 22nd. I'm giving you 1 week. So please try to do that. I know it's gonna be tight for you, but still more you have no choice. All right. So, Madam President, what time are we meeting for the other course?
10.
10. This is 5 minutes to 10. Why can't we meet at 10:15?
Yes, it's fine.
It's fine, eh?